Keeping it real.
Hello, and welcome to Keeping It Real with Relationships. I'm Zakal.
And I'm Sandy.
On today's show, we will be talking about commitment and why it is so important and necessary in relationships. Looking into what true commitment is it just about sex or marriage? Is marriage even a big deal in contemporary society today?
Well, we have some guests joining us later who will shed some more light on commitment and will answer some of these questions.
But first, let's check out what people with different backgrounds had to say about commitment.
Commitment is important once you define what the relationship is. If you're, friends with benefits or it's an open relationship, commitment is important, but it's a different kind of commitment.
Yeah, it's definitely important. Definitely.
Hashtag keeping it real. You could be like committed to someone in person, but then online you could be liking that girl's picture.
You could be committed to someone totally different online.
Yeah.
And
I think people are also afraid of getting hurt now. I think because there's so many ways that you can get hurt because of social media, because of people going on social media, the trust sometimes isn't there.
Like my parents are married, but they've been together for I don't know how many years. So they didn't want to get married because they didn't want to put it like a label on their relationship. They wanted to just be committed to each other.
And as long as that's how it stayed, there isn't really a problem, I guess.
I don't see a problem.
I think my mum's been with her boyfriend for 14 years or so now, and they're not married. I think they spoke about it once, but they're just
it wouldn't change anything
No.
if you're already committed to each other. I mean, there's some ways of saying it as, it wouldn't change anything, so why not do it? But then it wouldn't change anything, so why do it?
So what does commitment look like in our generation?
It doesn't.
It doesn't exist.
Having the heart on Snapchat to show you each other's best friend.
No. Commitment is putting it on Facebook.
Oh,
that you are in a relationship.
Facebook official.
I noticed that I get more interest if I've got a girlfriend than if I'm single.
Yeah, it's knowing that you can't have it, so they want it.
I know, it's weird.
Because everyone thinks if you put it on Facebook, then it becomes their business. It's stay out, it's mine.
Yeah.
I think it totally depends on the people.
For sure.
Like that person might think, right, we're committed, but we're only committed to say like a certain level.
Commitment is important once you define what the relationship is.
You have a focus on where you want to be in life. Most people have a focus where they want to be in life at this point, and having a relationship can sometimes lead you to different directions about life.
That's what commitment kind of is in this world. Like it could be anything you want it to be.
So some interesting points made there, and I love all the experiences that were shared from that focus group. It was interesting also seeing the points made about commitment being subjective. But what do you think?
Well, I think it's a generic thing. In all relationships, that commitment should be there. It's a fundamental thing for both people to be committed to one another and to be selfless in giving themselves to one another, whether that's in marriage or possibly not.
So I'm joined here on the couch with Nitasha and John, who are going to talk to us about commitment now. So guys, let's start from the basics. What is commitment? Let's define it. What is commitment?
In my opinion, I believe commitment is a decision. It's dedicating yourself to either a person or a cause and then following through with that completely and not wavering on that decision that you've made, irrespective of friendship, career, relationship. So that's my personal opinion on what it is.
Yeah.
I think it's commitment is sustainability.
Okay.
It's something where you see through, as in you see it to the end, your end goal. If that's depends if that's relationship or a cause or something. I think it's also so it's dedication as well. I think. Dedication, and it's something that can be really hard. Commitment can be really hard. Something that's it's not an easy thing, commitment. But I believe that commitment it can bring more satisfaction in things. More rather than just having something instant. Just happening as soon as you want it. The click of your finger. I do believe that working for something and working through things definitely brings more satisfaction.
Yeah. And I guess with the instant gratification, social media plays a big part in that, doesn't it? That instantly, like technology, we're just giving it like that. Kids are growing up with it now. It's a norm. So that thing of commitment maybe being a decision, do you think it's a decision? Do you think it can be a decision to commit, or do you think it's just something that you should just do?
Oh no, absolutely. I think it comes with making the decision of saying, yes, I'm going to put myself forward and commit myself to this.
Yeah.
And I think, again, like right now you've got that instant gratification. You've got all these social media platforms where where it does get a little bit easier to sway away from commitment.
Yeah.
You know, there's this culture that's been built now in this generation where you can get what you want as quick as you want, as easy as you want, without having to work for it. And that's I guess that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
You know, it's
kind of
quite lazy.
It's kind of living like an Amazon Prime generation, or Amazon
next
now.
day delivery.
Yeah, next day, like have it today, or you know, kind of like you can do everything on your mobile phone in a couple of seconds, or you know, you can.
There's
you can,
no work.
There's no work. Yeah, I find that myself. Even like taking a picture, because I'm a photographer. Just slip that in there. And I like, even if I take a picture on my phone, it's like I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to set up the camera. I didn't have to even, you know, I just point and shoot. In a way, like things like that. It's just we live in such a, you have it now when you want it. Even like on social media, Facebook, you put a picture up and you get likes and you feel good, instant sort of feeling, and then it goes away and it gets addictive. It's quite addictive, isn't it? Like that, sort of getting that instant, you know, oh, that makes me happy, kind of, in a way, which is not always a bad thing, but I think there is that, we are beginning to lose that sense of commitment, in that sense of like, let's work hard at this. I know for me at school, when I wasn't very committed to things, whether that was subjects or sports or friendships, when things got hard or boring, I just left, or just thought, I can't be bothered to do that anymore. But I think as I've got older, and just recently, just through life experiences, I've definitely found that when I've made a decision to commit, I feel more stable in myself and know where I'm going. And like in friendships or relationships, it's kind of having that commitment. You see, I think you see progression, and like through the bad times and the good times, you do see progression.
So there's a thing of commitment being there, not only in the good times, but also the bad.
Yeah.
I think that shows true commitment. I think there's a different kind of commitment in there. You're taking a step beyond them. Because you're going against your selfish nature. Like, you're going against what you want, and you're saying, okay, let's do it a step beyond commitment. Let me really commit to this. I don't want to do it. It's like a job. Like, we could land ourselves in a job that we don't want, but we just know we need it at the time. And then you have to just put in the grind, 9 to 5. University, as students, we commit to university, and it's tough. You get to your last end, like I'm on now, and you're just like, I just want to give up, but you're committed. It's like, no, I've committed 9 grand into it. Like, I've got to see it through. Yeah, literally. So in a relationship, do you think it's important for a commitment?
Yeah, definitely.
Why?
Without fail. I think you'd never be able to really fully see it through without commitment.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy for your decision to waver unless you've committed to it. And there are external situations that, you know, that would do that. You know, it could be friends, it could be, well, whatever it is. I think without the commitment to either, let's say, for example, it is a career. If you haven't committed to that, you're either going to fall off the bandwagon or you're going to persist through the hardship and see it through, then to see the fruit of that work.
Yeah.
You know.
And so, Tash, because you're married as well, so what does commitment look like for you now? Being married? Or does it not look like anything?
No, it does. It does. It comes in many forms. It comes in many forms. I think it was very different to my idea of what commitment was before I was married.
Okay.
But, I mean, commitment, the fact that we've committed ourselves to each other is, it almost gives you the confidence that this isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, you have to work.
Yeah.
You have to work through those hardships again. And, you know, it's going to happen. It's going to, you're going to have arguments, you're going to have disputes and stuff, but if you persist through that because you are committed to that person, it almost makes it easier.
Yeah.
Because you know that you have to come to a resolve.
And I guess there's that thing that you've both made that promise to one another. You've both committed to one another, so you know that you're on the same page basically. You're both in it together. You're not alone in that commitment.
Yeah.
Well, unless something bad happens, but yeah. So there's that thing of doing it together, right? Which I guess would help.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you have to build a relationship on a firm foundation.
Yeah.
And without commitment, you almost don't have the confidence in the other person.
Yeah.
So issues can arise just from that alone.
Yeah.
You know, mistrust and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, no, I think it's imperative.
I think like, I suppose like, I'm not married, but like in terms of, I suppose it's being quite selfless, isn't it? Like being selfless in a relationship or a friendship, rather than being selfish and thinking, what can I get out of this? How, you know, what benefits me? It's kind of thinking together, how can we help each other and understand each other? I think for me, like especially with some of my best friends, it's kind of realising that I've got to understand them, I've got to listen to them, I've got to be committed as a friend, even when we have arguments or things get a bit sort of tough or things happen. Like last year I was travelling in Southeast Asia with my best mate Seb, who's still out there.
Yeah.
I just remember we were together like every day, all day for like 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And okay, he's my best friend, but you kind of like, you get really sort of irritable, like you get a bit like, oh, he's really annoying me.
Yeah,
he's like, he's, you know, just leave me alone, you're so annoying, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Good times and bad times, but it's kind of, this is, it's quite a simple explanation of this, but like it's kind of, just, I think, you just had to kind get on with it and just think, I'm not going to be so selfish and be like, get annoyed,
Leave the
I'm
country.
just
going
go away, but just like being, okay, let's see his point of view. You know, why is he annoyed? What, you know, let's both work out together.
Work
like, we're going to be with each other for another 6 weeks. Let's like, let's work this out together. Let's, you know,
So
rather than being selfish. Yeah, not giving up.
So what are the benefits of commitment then?
I think the benefits of commitment, satisfaction. Like I was saying earlier, in a way. I think, well, not just satisfaction. Oh yeah, that's a big part of it in a way, but also that's not should be the only reason you do it. It's also to be for someone else as well, if it's in a relationship or a friendship. You know, like helping the other person, committing. I think you learn. You probably learn. I think you learn maturity, and you become more stable.
Yeah.
In yourself and in your decisions, because you've seen things through to the end, or like not to the end, but you know, you've seen things through the tough times. So I think you become more stable and you become more wise in a way, and I think you know your direction more of your life.
Yeah.
You know where you want to go, and you know where you are going, and you know that you're not just gonna sort of waver because you know something bad happens or something tough happens. Like obviously it's not easy. Life can be very tough and complex, but I think commitment definitely brings strength. I think within yourself. Yeah.
That's a perfect way to end on. So thanks for joining us today. It's been fantastic hearing your perspectives, your thoughts on commitment. So guys, if you want to check out our website, then head over to realwithrelationships.com, where you can find episode 1 to catch up on. And also, let's join in on the discussion online. So join us on our Facebook and Instagram pages at Keeping It Relationships. So it was really interesting actually, that interview, because of how important it is that commitment is fundamental to a relationship, and how I think it's safe to say commitment is definitely needed in a relationship, with both people knowing that they want to commit to one another. It's almost like being in a boat with no bottom. You'd just be in the water, you'd be drowning. But if you have commitment, then you know that you're steady, you're secure, I think. But it was interesting the way marriage came up in that and the discussion around that, because I don't think it is that it's that big a thing in our generation at all.
No. I think, based on from the discussions that we had and stuff, I kind of feel that's because people are fearful of marriage due to past parents' relationships being broken up, fear of commitment, and also insecurity. And I think many people are fearful of commitment as well, so they don't gravitate towards marriage. They want, in essence, to have some form of freedom because they feel locked. But I think it's essential really for people to understand that it is okay to be married.
Yeah.
And it is okay not to be fearful of marriage or to be fearful of committing. I think
Yeah.
commitment is essential.
And I think it might be that they're not so much fearful of themselves committing, but that the other person may not commit like they're willing to. So it's that thing. But I think with talking about it, having healthy discussions, communication comes in that, which then will help with the commitment. Like if you're both at the same point in your willingness to commit, or whether you're not, then that will show a lot as well.
Yeah.
So guys, as always, we have another quote for you to leave you with a bit of inspiration.
Thanks for watching. Catch us on our next episode where we'll be talking all about sex and celibacy. You really don't want to miss it.
Also, remember to join us on our online discussions and be sure to check out our website realworldrelationships.com to keep updated with all the episodes.
Keeping it real.